Prime Minister Modi greeted Israel with Shalom after a warm display of bonhomie with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, marked by hugs and handshakes. Prime Minister Modi met members of the Indian diaspora and enjoyed vibrant cultural performances. He's set to become the first Indian Prime Minister to address the Israeli parliament. Now, this marks his second visit to Israel during his tenure, the first being in 2017, if you remember. Now, during the visit, Modi and Netanyahu will review progress in the India-Israel strategic partnership and explore ways to deepen cooperation in science, tech, security, and the economy, as well as people-to-people ties.
Good to see you. No great affair. Oh. This is good.
Wow.
How are you? You see what you want? Look at the color. Thank you.
I'm so happy. And I miss India. What's down there? So, wonderful country.
It's a wonderful
I
leader.
I know. It's because of you. It was wonderful.
And welcome, my friend.
Thank you. Welcome.
My pleasure.
All right, I'm going to cut across to my colleague Pranay Upadhyay, who's been tracking the visit very closely. Pranay, Prime Minister in Israel, take us through on what we can expect.
A wide-ranging agenda is on table of bilateral talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Preeti. And in fact, you have shown the visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's welcome at the Ben Gurion airport of Tel Aviv, how Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, along with his wife, was there to receive Prime Minister Narendra Modi, how warmly he hugged and how warmly he welcomed. But immediately after their welcome and the guard of honor, both Prime Ministers sat for a tete-a-tete or informal level talks between the two leaders, and therein after Prime Minister Narendra Modi posted on social media that they discussed wide-ranging of issues, including the defense and security collaboration, including the water resource management, including the cyber security, industrial collaboration, how India and Israel can partner in the economic development of the West Asia, how the IMEC project can be taken forward. So wide-ranging discussion between the leaders, and now the big agenda for Prime Minister Modi's visit will be his address in Knesset, the Israeli parliament, which was lit in the colors of Indian tricolor in honor of Prime Minister Modi's visits. And in fact, you can say, Preeti, that this visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Israel after 9 years of his first visit is going to take forward. It will add a new chapter of India-Israel strategic partnership, because India needs Israeli innovation, Israeli technology, and what India brings to the table is skill and scale for Israel to enhance and amplify its industrial production in terms of defense and security equipment. So India-Israel partnership has moved beyond the purchaser and seller relationship to joint production and joint research and joint co-development phase of partnership. What we are looking at is certainly the cutting-edge technology in terms of the artificial intelligence, cyber security, quantum computing, the modern age or the new age drone warfare systems, to the latest versions of the missiles. And Israel has extended technology transfer to India as far as many other cutting-edge technologies are concerned. So wide-ranging issues are on table. And recently, a few months ago, India and Israel signed an MOU in defense and security collaboration. And just ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit, an Indian delegation of defense manufacturers were in Tel Aviv. They had rounds of meeting with their Israeli counterparts. Yesterday, India and Israel had a crucial talks, a 10th round of the joint working group on counter-terrorism, and both sides expressed their solidarity to fight against the menace of terrorism. So wide-ranging issues are there on table as far as the bilateral agenda is concerned. But yes, as you rightly pointed out, the timing of this visit is also very crucial at a time when the West Asia is facing a lot of turbulence. We have played the interview of Iranian Foreign Minister Syed Abbas Araghchi, and in fact, India is a key stakeholder in the West Asia peace process as well.
Right.
And we have our interests. We have around 90 lakh Indians living in that West Asia region. So therefore, the legitimate questions of concern will also be there on the agenda for Prime Minister Modi to talk to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Well, thank you, Pranay, and Trust India Today to get you the ringside view of all the developments taking place. We also got you that exclusive interview at this point of time with the foreign minister of Iran, where diplomacy is concerned, a lot ties in. Thank you, Pranay, for joining us. I want to get a quick word in. Joining me right in front of the Knesset, the parliament in Israel, Tel Aviv, is Balig Sladin. He is from 124 News Israeli Affairs, journalist joining us right outside the Israeli parliament. The Indian Prime Minister becomes the first Indian Prime Minister to address the Israeli parliament. I'm sure there's a lot of excitement in Tel Aviv at the moment with PM Modi's arrival. PM Modi going to create history by being the first Indian to speak at Knesset. What are the expectations from the Israeli people, from the Prime Minister?
Yes, we're here actually at the Knesset in Jerusalem. We're waiting for the arrival of the Prime Minister of the Republic of India. And as I made my way actually to the Knesset, we see all over Jerusalem Israeli flags and Indian flags as well together. And also, of course, in the Knesset with lots of signs, big signs, welcoming the Prime Minister in his visit right now. So we are waiting for this visit. Prime Minister Netanyahu already welcomed Prime Minister Modi in the airport in Ben Gurion Airport, and now they are making their way to here where the Prime Minister will be addressing the joint session in the Israeli Knesset. Both opposition and coalition will be listening to Prime Minister Modi in his speech today. Later on, they will continue, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Netanyahu, to a tech actually a conference here in Jerusalem, where they will be, of course, talking as well, and later on at dinner at the Prime Minister's residence. This is a very important meeting for Israel. Israel is a country that has been for the past 2 years somewhat isolated, and Prime Minister Netanyahu wants to show that one of the biggest powers in the region, and definitely even the world, are coming to here and building this strategic relationship with Israel. And definitely there is a lot to benefit each countries here. We're talking about cooperation in security, cooperation in economics, cooperation in cyber technology, cooperation in many other fields. So definitely a very important day here today in the Knesset.
Well, the address in the parliament is today, but Balig, with what you pointed out, to take, expand your point further, it's also to bolster strategic ties between the two nations. There will be bilateral talks which would be held tomorrow. And what would be very important from India's point of view are key defense agreements.
Yes, so we know that India is the fourth actually largest economy in the world. After all, we're talking about the most populous country also in the world. So Israeli technology or high-tech firms, and also, of course, the Israeli military industrial complex are looking for actually scaling up their cooperation with Indian companies, with the Indian state, of course, selling high-tech technologies, and definitely also weapons and ammunition to India. And India is already one of the biggest Israeli weapons buyer, actually, if not the biggest one. So this is the current focus right now. And let me say this as well. After 2 years of quote-unquote Europeans turning their back on Israel during the Gaza war, Israel is looking for new partnerships, and even outside the Western, let's say, sphere, because after all, we've seen many protests happening in the West, and that definitely pushed Western leaders toward taking decisions that are not in Israel's interest. And we're seeing that, on the other hand, India has taken a different stance. They are neutral, of course, but on the other hand, they are showing pro-Israeli stance. They have condemned October 7th attack, and definitely this is a country that Israel is looking for partnering with expanding its cooperation with its economic relationship with. So this is what we are expecting in Israel from this relationship with India.
Lots of expectations from either sides of the divide. Thank you. Thank you, Balig, for joining us. We're going to continue to come back to you. All eyes viewers are on Knesset, which is the parliament in Israel. And in just 10 minutes, Prime Minister Modi would be the first Indian Prime Minister to address the Israeli parliament. We're going to get you the latest.